What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. This is the first of many Worlds 2019 testing games that I will be uploading with commentary. This one is Mewtwo Fairy Psychic Box versus Pikarom, and most or all of these games will be myself, who is testing for Worlds Day 1, versus my mom, who is testing for the DC Open. So we've got me starting with Mewtwo Mew Tag Team GX, which has the ability Perfection. It can use the attacks of any GX and EX Pokemon on my bench or in my discard for the necessary attack costs. And then my mom over there started with Tapu Koko Prism, and she's going first. So we see Energy Switch, and then a Dance of the Ancients, which I think was a premature Dance of the Ancients. She could have waited till next turn to maybe get an extra energy on. But she might also be playing with like the mindset of preparing for let looses and stuff, like since we're just getting out of the last format. So these games aren't going to be free of misplays, but it's definitely here to help you guys get a feel for the decks and the format. So going second, I have a really great start. I have attached Psychic Energy for turn, and then Mina to accelerate a Fairy Energy as my supporter. So I'm going for the turn 1 Turbo Strike here. And then we got Dedenne coming out of a Cherish Ball, throwing away a Reset Stamp Dragonite GX from the new set, Psychic Energy. And there goes a Mysterious Treasure getting rid of Solgaleo, so we can do this turn 1 Turbo Strike, which is the best turn 1 for this deck. Excel with Mina, and then excel even more energy with Turbo Strike, and swing for 120. So we only got 1 energy in the discard pile. Turbo Strike attaches 2 basic energy from the discard, but there was only 1. So we have damage on the active Pikarom now. And let's see, so she's going to Electromagnetic Radar for Dedenne GX and the new Alolan Raichu Tag Team GX. Tandem Shock is a really good attack. Lightning, colorless, 80. And if this Pokemon was on your bench this turn and you're attacking with it now in the active, it does 160 and paralyzes instead of just the 80 damage. So if she gets that attack off here, she would be doing the 160 with paralyzation or paralysis. I think the correct term is paralysis, because it is on the bench this turn. Luckily, I do run 2 switches in the Mewtwo deck, so maybe I can get out of paralysis if that happens. Here we see a Volkner come down. And there's a Lightning Energy with Volkner, and maybe an Energy Switch or a Tag Switch to move the energy from Pikarom to Raichu. Gonna be a great potion. Okay, so Pikarom's at 120, going down to 70 with the Great Potion. Heal 50 damage from your active Pokemon GX. And there's the Tag Switch, it was already in hand. So Tandem Shock, 160, and Paralysis. Pokegear comes down, grabbing a Hapu. Hapu is a really great new supporter from the new set. Look at the top 6 cards, choose 2 of them and discard the rest. Works really well in a deck like this where you want to discard cards. Okay, I throw away a Viridian, a Water, a Cynthia, and it looks like a Great Potion maybe. attach water from hand, double Great Potion on the active Mewtwo. And then I just pass. Okay, so I did not hit the switch. Double Great Potion and pass. So I go down from 160 damage to just 60. Hopefully surviving the next turn. So I'm at 210. So it would take quite a bit to knock me out. I think 2 Electric Powers plus Lightning Rod GX. There's 1 Electric Power. She wanted to play Great Potion, but it's only on the active Pokemon, so she's just going to retreat and then use it anyway. So down to 2 damage. Healing a lot off that Pikarom in the last 2 turns. You're seeing Great Potion being utilized on both of our boards, actually. And there goes a Dede change. Discarding whatever it was in her hand. Confirming that just the 1 Electric Power has been played. And there goes the second one. So, yeah, double energy switch off that Dede change. So Full Blitz is going to be taking a knockout here on that Mewtwo that I just healed with 2 Great Potions. So a lot of resources went into that Mewtwo, actually. 3 prizes for her, and energy onto the Raichu with Full Blitz. No GX attack has been used yet. So since no GX attack has been used and my Mewtwo only has 2 energy, maybe she should have went for a Tag Bolt here. But I could just, if she puts it all on the active, I could just go with a wall attack, so like Latios or Altaria, which I probably will do anyway. But then if she had double Custom Catcher, she could win the game off of knocking out the Dene and Marsh Shadow, but I might just remove the Marsh. If she did that, I would have removed the Marsh Shadow with and got rid of the Viridian Forest, so that wasn't a possibility. So I did 120 there. Going with Turbo Strike. Okay, so I don't have Latios GX or Altaria GX in the discard pile right now, is what it seems, or I would have used one of those walling attacks. Energy down on the Zapdos. Oh, wow. Okay, so bring up the Dedenne, and yeah, so she would have won the game if she put the energy onto Pikarom for the Tag Bolt GX there. That would have been game. Knock out the Dedenne, knock out Marshadow. But again, I would have removed the Marshadow from play if she threatened with that, so... but I think the double Custom Catcher there is a misplay, because now I can just remove the Marshadow and force her to take 8 prizes, essentially. Should have just put some damage into the Mewtwo. She didn't need to take prizes there. But then again, I would... If I had a switch, I would just be able to heal the Mewtwo with its own GX attack, potentially. But here I'm just going to OHKO the Raichu with Dragonite GX's attack. So yeah, I definitely think this should have been Pikarom's game. Even with the turn 1 Turbo Strike from Mewtwo. The Tandem Strike really hurts us. As does just... I think their deck's a little more consistent, where like we were missing the Latios GX and the Altaria GX, so we couldn't wall. Usually that's not too much of an issue. I guess I just didn't have a Cherish Ball or Mysterious Treasure in hand, and then to pitch it with Viridian. But here I think we win because we don't have a bench. I remove the Mars Shadow to get rid of Viridian, and then all I need to do is attach and have a Mina next turn, and I will win the game with the Ganadel GX. There's no way for her to win, as far as I know, because she's used 2 electric powers already. So she couldn't win with a tag bolt. Tag bolt two tag bolt and 2 electric powers will only be 260. Maybe if she had energy switch or Thunder Mountain to do Tingly Return GX and stick my Mewtwo there, but then I don't. She would have had to do Tingly Return GX with electric powers, and also I would have had to not have a switch or healing options or some combination. Okay, so I pitched the Latios GX. Get an energy. If I have Mina in my hand, that's just the game. Oh no, I have to Deadeye change. Okay, so Mina's not in hand. There's the Mina, and there goes the Ganadel to knock out the damaged Pikarom on the bench. So game 1 goes to Mewtwo. I think if the Pikarom side was played perfectly, Pikarom could have won that though. It's always hard to say because if things were played differently on the Pikaroms, and then things would have happened differently for Mewtwo. So, but I do think Pikarom could have had the advantage there. Now, one of the biggest problems with Pikarom, of course, is Tapu Koko Prism is important, and if you prize that, it's really painful to get the deck going the way it's supposed to do. And unfortunately, that's what we're going to be looking at in this game, too. The Tapu Koko Prism is prized for Pikarom, which she will find out on her first search, I believe. Here we see an Acrobike. The discarded card is a Lightning Energy. And Electromagnetic Radar. For Zeraora GX. And Pikarom. And it looks like a Reg Challenge. So she had a Dedenne GX in hand. So Reg Challenge is just going to grab a Viridian Forest. And then the Dedenne change for 6 cards. Attach a Lightning, use the free retreat. And I think that was a pass there. On my side, I'll be starting out with Hapu. Got a Latios GX in the discard there early this game. Pitching Solgaleo to use Viridian Forest. Unfortunately, that means I won't be getting the turn 1 Turbo Strike because I did not get to use Mina as my turn 1 supporter. So I'll just be getting set up here instead. To probably go in with Tag Purge Latios GX's attack on my second turn. As long as I get to play a Mina next turn. If not, it'll just be a turn 2 Turbo Strike, which isn't as nearly as impressive as the turn 1 or the turn 2 Tag Purge. So on to Jones' side. There goes an Electro Power down. Just to get to see more cards, I believe, with Lily. If the Electro Power wasn't played, it would just be Lily for 2. And then retreat and just Thunderous Assault for 110. So that's really not great. The Electro Power is kind of wasted there, but like I said, the card draw was going to be even worse without playing down Electro Power, so it's kind of a tough situation. Already playing without Tapu Koko Prism right now since it's prized and with a less than optimal hand. So here I'll Cynthia. Again, no Mina. So that's 2 turns in a row without a Mina. So I guess I'll just be Turbo Striking. I take a knockout on the Zapdos, and her board isn't anything spectacular. So it's going to probably be fine to just Turbo Strike here. I get 2 energy onto the benched Mewtwo. A Fairy and a Water. Pitching Calm to search out a Lightning with Viridian Forest. Bench Zapdos and Thunderous Assault for 80 again. Yeah, really, there's not too much that can happen without Tapu Koko Prism. Of course, I don't believe that and Thunder Mountain Prism are prized, but you kind of, unless you're using Red's Challenge, which was used turn 1, you can't search out Thunder Mountain Prism. So I'm going to go pitch the Nag to search out a Fairy Energy. I think here I should Tag Purge. Knock out. Oh, double Great Potion. Okay, so heal the Mewtwo back to full HP, and if I Tag Purge here, then I can't get hit by Pikarom or Raichu. So yeah, knock out the Zapdos, go down to 4 prizes, and I'm immune to damage from Tag Team Pokemon next turn. So here I think, yeah, okay, so she's going to go for full voltage GX. She's really behind. Just going to get energy on the board and see what she can do. So 3 energy to the Pikarom, 1 energy to the Dedenne. Maybe if she gets an Alone Raichu down later on, she can like tag switch or use a couple energy switches to get the Alone Raichu going, but no GX attack for Pikarom is pretty bad. So I pitched the Dragonite, Viridian, get Fairy Energy, Mina. I'm just gonna do 270 to this Zeraora, it looks like. So I'll make it up for those lackluster early turns where I did not get to play Mina. So use Dragonite's attack for 270 and discard 3 energy, down to 2 prizes to her 6. It's just looking real bad here with the lack of Koko Prism and the lack of Thunder Mountain in play. Best case here is she gets a Raichu down, or a Mewtwo Mew on the bench, and full blitz to it. And there comes both of those Pokemon down to the bench. Attached to Raichu. And full Blitz 150. So here I need to attach and play Mina to get the win with Naganadel, because I can just snipe the Dedenne for 170. I'm using Hapu, so that will not be happening as I do not play any Energy Switch or Tag Switch in this deck. But looking at this board state, Tag Switch could maybe be pretty good in the Mewtwo box. Since I do have 2 energy on the benched one, I could just win the game with Dragonite here if I had Tag Switch in the deck. So attached to the bench there, I'm not sure if that's correct. Maybe I'm going to retreat and Turbo Strike. If I have Mina in my hand, then I just retreat and Turbo Strike 120, accelerate 2 back to the benched one. And then with Mina in hand, I have guaranteed Naganadel GX regardless of what happens. So yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. And Turbo Strike, or is it a Tag Purge? Pitch the Altaria. I think I was showing what my supporter for the turn was. That I used Hapu and I used Mina last turn. So Viridian there, getting rid of the Altaria, GX, and okay, so I used Tag Purge here, not Turbo Strike. 120, and I cannot be damaged by Tag Team Pokemon, but I can still be affected by effects of the attack. Ergo, the paralysis of Tandem Shock. Pokecom something back in and fail it. And Tandem Shock, no damage, and I'm paralyzed. So if I have a switch and energy to retreat and then a Mina, I win this turn. Mysterious Treasure for a Jirachi, so I remove Psychic Weakness, so I don't get blown up by that Mewtwo on the bench. That's actually a huge play here, because if she could retreat and knock me out with Mewtwo, next turn I could potentially not have the energy needed to knock the Mewtwo back. And then she could just come out with a really a win from way behind there with the Mewtwo tag team if I didn't have the Jirachi, so that's really important. Then I just pass the turn, so I attach for turn and Mina, then I just pass and become unparalyzed. Electromagnetic, was that? Oh no, she pitched the Electromagnetic Radar for a Lightning Energy. Attaches it to the Mewtwo, and then Energy Switch to the Mewtwo. Since Psychic Weakness is now gone, she's just gonna retreat and Tandem Shock me again. So if she got going just a little bit sooner, you could see how this could have gotten out of hand and maybe been really good for the Pikarom side. Tandem Shock just back and forth between the Mewtwo and the Raichu is pretty nutty. So I'm Cynthiaing here. I probably want to see a switch. Oh no, I Pokegeared and got Cynthia. I did not use Cynthia. I'm playing Hapu. There we go. Looking for switch. Looks like I didn't get switch. And I just pass again. But since I'm at 2 prizes, I think I just win as soon as she knocks something out. Because she can't just keep paralyzing me forever. So she knocks out the active, and then I promote Attach Energy, then use Naganadel's attack, Venom Shot 170 to the bench, to Dene, or the bench Pikarom, right? Yeah, because I'm at 2 prizes, so I can knock out either. Doesn't matter. Volkner just getting an Electropower out of the deck. And then attach Naganadel GX. And that's the game. So 2 wins on Mewtwo's side. The games were close, and if Tapu Koko Prism wasn't prized, I think that would have been really good for Pikarom. I hope you guys enjoyed these games of Pikarom versus Mewtwo, and you continue to check out the ones that I will be uploading from now probably until Worlds or a couple days before Worlds. Check out flipsidegaming.com and use code CELIO for 10% off of your next order, $10 or more. And I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.